see that it still say Mary Kay. It's like the AY is left on the stick. But this is my Mary Kay eyebrow pencil, and it looks like it says drum neck. That's the color. And I'm just gonna go and trace over my brow and fill in starting to dry.
Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine? Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine? Girl, you look mighty fine.
Then I'm gonna take and connect this corner down.
Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your
And I don't want too much of like a hook, so I just kind of want to round that out a little bit and then connect it down to my lower brow and extend it out.
fingers?
Simple, right? Do the same thing over here.
Fingers.
Fill in the areas that are thin.
Fingers down my spine. Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine? Girl, you look mighty fine.
This
Won't
is
you
my
rub your
thicker brows, so I
fingers
have to
down
go
my spine?
lighter.
Girl, you look mighty fine.
Your brows are
Won't you
not
rub
the
your
same. You
fingers
always
down
have
my
one
spine?
that's your good brow. This is my thick brow.
Won't you rub your
I'm
fingers
trying to
down
like
my
make this one look
spine?
smaller and make this one look bigger. They're sisters, not twins. We're just gonna go overlook all that hair. The fact that I need a eyebrow wax. We're not even gonna pay that any attention. So now I can see that this one is a little bit fuller because this one is naturally fuller. So I'm going to go and make this one just a little bit more fuller because brows are sisters, not twins. So now that they have like the same fullness, I'm going to just make sure everything is sharp underneath. And take it all the way about halfway. I'm not going to do this part of my brow yet. I'm not going to touch that part. I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines to fill in. So now you want to try to get your brows in between, like here. This is your guide, your nostril. This is where your brow should be. Some people take them closer, but I don't. But your brows should be like right in between here. Then what I do is I fade out this harsh line at the bottom to make it look more natural. So I'll go in and just fade that out with my brush. Just so it's not so dark, intense. See how that faded out? And then just take your hairs and just, make sure they're all going in the direction you want them to go. I comb the front ones up and the ones to the sides, you can see I'm combing them to the side. Then I go in with my Mary Kay Espresso, this dark color here. It's basically black, but it's called espresso. No, it's called coal, C-O-A-L. And I go in, I darken my corners up. So I'll start up top and just trace over that line so that I can have more of a faded brow, like a tapered brow. Go in, trace where I want the darkest of the line to show. Don't go all the way up front or it won't look as natural. Then you're going to just fill in your corners. It's like faded. You can see how that faded out. Do the same thing over here. Basically, this is just to darken up your corners. When you take pictures, this is the first area that the light reflects. So I like to use a powder because when I take pictures, the light will reflect, and it's like you can't even see the corner of your brows. Like your brows, they don't stand out on pictures. So I noticed when you use a powder, it has no reflection. And just fade it in just like you did the other one. Now here it's a little bit too light, so you just darken that up a little bit more. This one has a nice gradient. Like a nice blend. So I take my Mary Kay concealer. Like to put it on the back of my hand. My palette. It's my little palette. I don't know why tablet was coming to mind. And then you just clean up everything. Just clean up. Just like all those hairs that need to be waxed. You just clean right up underneath them. And if your line was too thick, or you want to thin them out, this is where you can do that. I like to start in the corners because I like the most of my concealer in the corners to kind of give my eye a lift, because my eyes kind of look a little bit like down. So I like to start in the corners, and I put most of my concealer here so that it'll lift my eye. And then I'll go over the front with what's left. Then I'll just blend that corner out. Don't want to put too much concealer right there because I still want it to look more natural, kind of messy in the front, like a natural brow. And then I just blend everything out. And use my finger to help absorb some of the extra product. And just tap it into place. And then if you want to be extra, you can go over the top. I do not do the whole brow thing. I do not go over the whole top. But if you want the corner to stand out more, you can go over. I feel like it's not. This part right here. Very lightly if you want them to look like mine do when I'm rushing. This is my like rush brow. And because I'm trying to explain it to you, it's taking me more time. But it doesn't take me but 2 minutes in the morning. This is like my rush brow. As my hairs are growing in more, I have to conceal them a little more. Because it's really time for me to get a eyebrow wax. But people have been asking me about these brows. every day, so obviously you can't even tell that they need to be done. And I'm just gonna clean up under here. Now you see my brows. This is what I do. This is what you guys have been asking me. And you see that this one has more of an arch and this one doesn't. That's how natural brows are. They're sisters, not twins. So sometimes they come out too perfect because that was kind of like the trend to have your eyebrows perfect. But then I started watching being Mary Jane and her eyebrow. I love Gabrielle Union's makeup. It's always so natural looking. So I started going for more of a natural brow.